So I'll hear people say, if you believe it. No matter what, even if you're not going to win, you got to fight. Go get some.
Hey, what's up, fellas? And welcome to another episode of the Combat Club. This is the episode number 29, because right now we're getting more closer to the year 2024 to get a welcome to the 2025. So right now, I just wanted to tell you, don't forget to subscribe to the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. Also, you can subscribe to Capitán Rafucho and also my co-host, Zenith, on YouTube. So for the last weekend, it was truly amazing between the UFC 309, and we just got everything that we just saw at this close a great master class of John Jones, how to become the heavyweight champion and still the undefeated heavyweight, go to the MMA for all time. So I'm gonna let you know about this one. So Zion, so how you been? Because right now the last weekend became so incredible.
Yeah, what a weekend we had. Thank you, Daniel, for joining the show. Thank you, others.
Yes,
When
sir.
you guys get here, when you guys start trickling in, we are the Combat Club. You know where to find us every Wednesday afternoon, or Wednesday evening, or Wednesday night. Actually, where you're at East Coast, mofos.
Yeah.
That being said, man, shout out to you guys. I will say this: underwhelming Friday, but good Saturday. I will say this. I will say we start with the breakdown of the Mike Tyson, man. The Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. A lot of people was let down. But what do you? I would say this: what did they expect, right? We said this going into the weekend. That Mike Tyson is 60 and the human body has limits. I know you was more high on Mike Tyson than I was, and I know a lot of people was, but we soon see that he is 60. He is 58. He's pushing 60. And, he was really slowing there. His legs looked wobbly. And shout out for him for lasting the distance with Jake Paul and not getting knocked out. I know Jake Paul said a few things at the press conference. That being said, I don't know. When your opponent signs up for a fight, you finish him. I don't know if Jake Paul was trying to show respect or anything like that, but I'm not too sure what it was. What's up, Sky? Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully your night's going well as well. That being said, bro, I really want to get your thoughts on it. I thought it was I really was pretty pissed at Netflix that I was streaming it in 420p. I mean, this is 2024. Get your shit together, Netflix. But I'm glad that they're able to do this test one before the NFL gets there on Christmas Day, because I know they're promising some good live events. But that being said, getting back to the fight, what's your thoughts on it? What's your thoughts on Mike Tyson? What's your thoughts on Jake Paul? And what's your thoughts on the aftermath of the fight?
Well, I mean, after the fight, that I was really rich. I mean, there will never a lot to be happen. I mean, if I were Mike, we wanted to put Paul on that place and disappear at overtime. If I were Mike, had kept fighting all over this years and taking a long break over the years, it was going a semi-retirement. I mean, that should be less. But let's be honest, because I mean, they're just acting tally, and somebody has to step it off to put a return back. But I know that it's something they would a great lesson. But I know there's gonna be a much huge distraction for the artist, because I thought it gonna blow it up. But between for the cardio and of course the grappling, striking, and of course the jabs, I mean, our Mike Tyson, he became such a great form, because I would love to see it coming back, because that was probably the putting aside for the constant problems and the streaming in between for the platform of wrestling and of course for Netflix, because in a way it's just a very impressive display and endurance and the world has witnessed. Because if those millions of people, they just listen to everyone and they just watch it in between for the fight, I mean, if they just wanted to get and realize that who's got the real comeback and who's got the real lesson. Because I know that it's just got everything could happen on that fight. Because I understand that our Mike Tyson, he really show off at a great performance as a great return. Because I believe that the fight did way more damage they're under the benefit, because there's no way they were to treat like the new persons who are watching anywhere, because everyone that just a new fan of the boxing, they just think that everything's over. No, because I know there's gonna be like so many levels, because Mike Tyson tired himself out of weapon outside of the Paul match, because he wasn't punching it, because Drew like at a couple of punches and they just run out of the way that Tyson would take edge. And that was just like, I don't know, it sounds like very complicated, but neither actually they just won it. I mean that they have it and no one trusted it, thankfully, but they have it to watch it all, because what on earth they just wanted to go like at the entrance and of course for the jab. I mean, they just realized with it, because we on the state to see like a almost 60 years old finally look at the influencer and it got shocked because that was like a sparring match ending in two people making a competent amounts of their money. But at least it had at least the rest of the car were like really awesome. But Sorrento totally won on that one. So I think between for that fight became like something really interesting. But I got a lot of the process of breaking it out of the century. But some of the streamers, some of those people that watch it, I know they have a problem with buffering, but at least they just got it.
Yeah, I definitely had a problem about buffering, and I will say this: it's one of those things where Mike Tyson was his body, his brain was telling him to do this, do that, and then his body was just basically saying, "Bro, what the fuck are we doing in this ring?" I love the fact this comment right here from Sky.
There you go.
It's a different generation nowadays. At the end of the day, Mike Tyson is him, and Mike Tyson is one of the greatest of all times. But I've been seeing after the fight, I've been seeing a lot of hate on Jake Paul. Like, I can't wait for this kid to get knocked out. A lot of people don't understand, but what I mean by this is boxing has been dying for a long time. And boxing fans, if I'm boxing fans, I'm absolutely, yeah, it's a distasteful feeling when you have a young superstar, a YouTube superstar that was a Vine superstar that came up off of social media. But I would say this: he's fighting experienced opponents way better than any motherfucking in boxing that's 9-0. Okay. When he was 8-0 or whatever the fuck his record is now, 10-1 or something like that, because I lost against Fury. But what I will say the reason why I don't follow boxing, or I never followed boxing, is the padded stats. You're gonna fight this guy that's 2-19. You're gonna fight this guy that's 18-19. It's almost stupid. So you get to a point where you're 19-0 and you fought nobodies. I would say this: at least I salute the kid Jake Paul for bringing young fans to a dying sport. Almost reviving it, would I say. Now, I'm not just trying to say it's him by himself. There's Tank Davis out there that's a killer that everybody's eyeballs go to see when he fights. There's, the heavyweight champion, everybody's goes. There's Canelo. There's a lot of great champions in boxing. But I will say this.
Yep.
The whole lunar television, that shit is dead. Okay, it's a different time. It's a different age. And if the election, I'm sorry for bringing that up, if the election didn't tell you we're living in a digital internet age, that shit really matters, it's the next generation. And all these old heads better get in line. I still hear people talking shit like to Jake Paul, man. It's almost like, oh, he should have knocked him out. I mean, like, I understand that. I do understand where you're coming from with that. But at the end of the day, Mike Tyson is still Mike Tyson. Like, yeah, he's old, his legs are not responding fast enough, his movements slower, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you've seen all those training videos, but it's easy to do it against a stationary target, a guy holding the mitts, a punching bag. When you have a moving target, obviously everybody knows it's different. I take nothing away from this fight other than Mike Tyson's a GOAT, man. To get in the ring at 58, he's always going to be one of the greatest boxers. His time is basically unmatched, other than a few boxes. He's one of the best heavyweights to ever do it. And I do honestly, in my hearts of hearts, I think Muhammad Ali is the greatest boxer of all time. But that's just me. I'm a casual watcher. A lot of people have Mike Tyson up there. A lot of people have a lot of other boxers up there. But to get to the main reason why we're here, 306, 309, actually. I'm sorry, 309.
Yeah.
But amazing fights. What's your thoughts on the way that Michael Chandler came back in the 5th round, almost stopped Oliveira, and what you like about his mic skills and the fight in general? But I think, dog, if nobody wants to fight you, I would love to set up a fight with Max Holloway for the BMF. But wouldn't you think Michael Chandler would be good in the WWE? Like that promo was nuts. I love that promo he did at the end of the fight.
Yeah,
Obviously, we got to
that's
give shout outs to Charles Oliveira on a performance that he had dominating the fight up until he got clipped in the fifth round. But at the end of the day, man, Michael Chandler, he's fun to watch. He lost, but at the end of the day, he won. If you gotta understand where I'm coming from, I think he made a lot of fight fans that night who didn't really know who Michael Chandler was. It's surprising that he's been around for a long time and there's still people that don't know who he is. But now I believe that was a bomb fight by Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler. I want to hear your thoughts on it before we talk about the main event and other fights.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And talking about like Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler, I mean, what can I tell? I mean, he bullied like a dirty Chandler for 4 rounds straight, and he had a very competitive 5th round against him. That was like the best version of Charles Oliveira. We all going for the 5 rounds. I mean, that was just like a very impressive takedowns, but I just really hope that it gets a rematch along with Islam Makhachev. But between Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler, I mean, over the last minutes that I just saw for the 5th round, I mean, that was just like an impressive power strain to Michael Chandler, too, like at a body slam. It's just like, wait a minute, did I just saw like this before in a wrestler? Because I know that Chandler is fucking dirty. He just all look at a bad like head. It's just like really crazy. I mean, he's one of those like one of the worst cheaters because 30 straight seconds holding like an occasion, 20 shots into the back of the head, where he just staring like at just like the cartoon Mr. Magoo. Because the last time that I just saw like it getting away, there was so much eating, but that was like a crazy stuff. I mean, they're just like even in a fight, he dominates Charles. He finds it a way to make it scary. I mean, always to the trend and just didn't fun. I mean, they're just like a bleak cake for Charles Oliveira. Now it's like a new legendary, but also he became like that I would see like the most entertaining because if Charles Oliveira was like on this prime, I mean, they would do like at everything. I mean, this. It's not going to be a worry because he's standing up twice and also to this back of the later to say, fuck it. That was like the body slam is just like boom. But not only because talking about like if you go to like the WWE, because he was just like an interesting wrestler because he used like a more that is racing on this fights because he will be like a hard to game play for because he feels like a little bit too much out of the stand up. And if you remember, because before WrestleMania goes to Philly, I mean, he called out Conor McGregor. It became like the most entertainment because the only time he used in this wrestling was in the Ferguson fight at round number 1. Arguably, he could like manage to slam Justin at a position that didn't better. But between for that fight, I mean, those guys are rocked for that fight, even though they just could end in for like a decision. But that was just like grabbing the cage. I mean, those punches on the back of the channel was so because they're just pulling like the great fight, but that was just like very dirty. I mean, they has no clue because it has such a like the dirtiest one. I mean, there's like on the right side has to trying to bring people to the audience. I mean, also with that performance, I mean, they're not gonna think it's gonna be like a washing off. But he rounded over the storm with around number 5. The referee was a travesty because there was like eye pokes in the butt eyes, fancy gravity, the shots in the back. I mean, what happened to the rules that their fighters are break free from everything? I mean, they can't see it, but I'm very happy that the Charles Oliveira still won. But as such, because people thought that Michael Chandler is a scumbag fighter, but I don't think so because all those back for the head strikes. I mean, what was he doing up there? Because I know that he's just one of the most entertaining fighters that no one can see because he get it like at the most dominated most of the fight.
Yeah, and to say and to continue on that point, appreciate you, Sky. Thank you so much for being with us tonight and hanging out. Appreciate you, absolutely. To be honest, to add on to that point, it's almost like in the moment he's trying to really finish Michael Chandler. I get it, be accurate with your punches, but the excitement is going. He's losing the fight. He's 4 rounds to 0. He's trying to get him out of it, and it's the referee's job. It's the referee's job. I repeated it because it's his job 3 times to let Michael Chandler know. If the referee's standing right there and Michael Chandler's hitting you and the referee's like not saying anything, then absolutely. And when people will go back and look at the footage, the punches is coming in so fast that it's almost like, okay, yes, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 landed at the back of the head, but we've seen that from time to time. I mean, like Michael Chandler's not sitting on top of Oliveira gouging his eyes out. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? I think a lot of the times the MMA fans, we just overreact at times, and you know, I'm a victim of it sometimes too. I'm texting Dana White trying to have fighters who do stupid things that try to get out of fights, like get fired. You know, I'm like, fired Cody Brundage. What has this guy done? You know what I'm saying? Other than pull out of 2 fights because of stupid things that he's trying to win the fight off of an injury, and like it wasn't. It's just a bunch of BS. And I understand that, you know, there's a referee that cost John Jones his fight. There's a referee that no longer refs in the UFC. That's the reason why John Jones has that 1 loss and no contest. And John Jones was ripping Matt Hamble's ass until that now legal 6'9" elbow came down, and that's why John Jones is, you know, has that 1 loss. And it sucks because at the time the Nevada State Commission was just so was so corrupted. And you know what it makes me think about, Raphael?
Yep.
I've been watching this sport for such a long time that I'm like an old head in it. Like, there's so much fighters to follow that sometimes I get mixed up in names, and these names are ridiculous because it's all over the world. But when now looking, I remember when John Jones was a newbie, and it was like the GSP and Anderson Silva era, and even before that, I remember the Frank Trigg era, and like the BJ Penn era, and like the, you know, the Randy Couture and the Chuck Liddell and the Tito Ortiz era, and to think that we have a legend now in John Jones that, like, dude, Izzy is now old head. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like dude, this sport. That's why I love this sport, man. I mean, like, this sport, it shares the same birth year as me. This sport was created in 1993. I was born in 1993, and there's only one sport I love more than this sport, and it's honestly the NFL. But you know, UFC, man. I love MMA, and you know, honestly, I grew up. I'm just ranting at this point. I grew up as an NBA fan. I thought NBA was always going to be my first love, but NBA has dropped to 3rd place because this sport has overtaken the NBA. I honestly would say that. Now, would this sport ever overtake the NFL? I don't know, because I'm a junkie for the Shield. But that being said, let's move on to the main event, man. We had Stipe coming, looking better than ever, and I want to repeat this. You know, a lot of people don't respect John Jones. And what I mean by that is that's why I want to call myself an old head of the sport. They didn't witness his rise. They didn't witness who he beat. When I mean witness who he beat, look at his resume and look at what those guys did to the ops. Okay, those guys wrecked ops, and they came over to John Jones and they couldn't get it done. Okay, so when you look at all these great fighters nowadays, like the Islams and the Ilias, dog, like I respect them, but their resumes don't stack up to the GSP's resumes, the Anderson Silva resumes, the John Jones resumes, at least not of yet. Everybody, yeah, Max Holloway is great. Yeah, of course, Alexander's great. But you know how much legends John Jones walked through? A lot, okay? Yeah, we have 2 legends, but bro, he walked through at least 10 legends, okay? At least 15 Hall of Famers. So when I'm saying put some respect on John Jones, it's almost Stipe was in this. Stipe would beat 99% of heavyweights on the planet in the shape that he was in. There's probably only 2 that would stand a chance. I would say maybe Francis Ngannou and Tom Aspinall, and then there's John Jones. Okay, not too much heavyweights is beating Stipe that night, because Stipe came in absolutely great peak performance shape. And for everybody, it was like on social media, it's like, well, Stipe looked off, Stipe looked slow. He only looked slow after John Jones started landing those knees and kicks to the body. That's what John Jones does. His fight IQ is second to none, bro. He's almost like, the way he reads the pocket is like Tom Brady. Obviously, if you used to compare it to football, right? His IQ when he's in the ring is second to none. And he can see what you're trying to do against him, and he makes adjustments in the middle of the fight, not in the middle of the rounds like other champions do, in the middle of the fight. There's only very few that has the ability to do that to that highest standards. There's only one, really. Only one person, 2, 3 people I'm thinking of. I add GSP's IQ. Anderson Silva's IQ was pretty hot too. But another person I'm thinking of to match John Jones' IQ is Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse Johnson. What he did, and that's another legend, you know. But getting back to John Jones, Give the guy his respect, bro. I've seen some young generation come out and some younger generations come out and chanting the Tom Aspinall banner. Like Tom Aspinall is 15-0, like he never lost a fight in his life, like he's the greatest of all time. Okay, respect you, Tom. Respect the fact that you've never been the distance. But at the end of the day, bro, like John Jones fought and won double your wins, almost double your wins. And if he wants to go and he wants to go back down to 205 and fight Alex, I'm fucking about that shit. Okay, I'm about that shit. Let's not be hiding Alex. Alex is on a tear right now. Who better to go stop that fucking tear than John Jones? I get it. We all want the Tom Aspinall fight. John Jones doesn't want it. John Jones, what the fuck does Aspinall do? Well, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but what have you done to make you think you can just sit back and ask to fight the greatest of all time? Like we have Shakurat out there main eventing against Muhammad. Muhammad gets injured. What does Shakurat do? Does he go on the fucking couch and does he wait? No. He's like, fuck it. Who can I fight? The UFC's like, well, we're gonna have to bring in this guy from Ryzen. He's gonna fight Pantoja for the main event, but you can fight Gary undefeated. What the fuck? Who does that shit? That's what I'm talking about. Making yourself undeniable. 18 wins, 18 stoppages, never got beat. Now gonna fight a fighter that's 15-0. Shakurat. Make yourself undeniable. So when I go back and I see Tom Aspinall doing a fucking media campaign, trying to fucking, it's like a little baby trying to get that John Jones fight. It's like, bro, like what have you done to earn that fucking fight? Like really, bro. That's all it is. It's a lot of the younger generation that's so recency biased that sees these guys go and see this guy, go and wipe competition and wipe contenders, but John Jones is wiping legends. Okay, and I know you want to fast track yourself to that standards. That's why you call out persons like John Jones. But honestly, bro, I honestly wanted to see Tom Aspinall just keep on fighting. And I know I made this whole thing about Tom Aspinall. I didn't mean to. And I went on a mini rant here. But I'm going to pass the mic back to you. And what's your thoughts on John Jones versus Stipe?
I mean, that could be like a great masterpiece because I understand because I learned like really a lot because I really think that because they not make like it a very personal, but I know that Steve saying he's done because you can tell he was done before this fight because they hope like at a big fat bag check because he's a class act. But I know that it's been like a great opportunity because it has been seen like it's not gonna be like really pretended. But I'm very shocked that also they just came like at a master class out of John Jones because they just really fought to everyone because the strategy, I mean, is undeniable. And before that, because the mental preparation as well to scribe, because it's not that really bad at all. But probably, I mean, during for this one, I mean, I just really called it. I mean, there's nothing that can stop John Jones. I mean, he's undeniable. He's undefeated. And before that, because no one else is going to have it because he just broke a record that no one remains to the tyrant, which is the streak fights that he just won. And he just remained like a heavyweight champion. So I don't know whether the people that just wanted to like getting upset and get out of this because they just turn up it because they really has been because it's not going to be like a really dumb because I know there's going to be for the easy title defense. But it's not gonna be like it and getting tired because I know that's this kind of like at running the show, but over the last few years, I mean, basically just putting out like two persons in heavyweight that just put like at a great spectacle because I know it's gonna be like at a loud, but it seems that I've been like at a great fan, but there's like at many prospects and out there because it's not gonna be like at a really wild. But he still looked very dangerous and intelligent there because he's very slower than Tom. But Tom, he doesn't have like the grappling and nickel power, and he's under the favorite. But I think it's gonna be like a lot of potential because I know that it's not gonna be like something getting involved. but I know that John Jones still remains as the GOAT, and I
will
know
say,
this is gonna be the thing. Mm-hmm.
no, I apologize. I will say this too. It's almost like this is why if I'm aligned with John Jones. I absolutely agree. What does Aspinall have to gain against winning against the GOAT? Everything. The fucking kingdom. Tom Aspinall is trying to fast track his way to legend status. He beats John Jones, he's an immediately household name. Same thing what happened to Chris Weidman, right? Chris Weidman knocks out fucking Anderson Silva, rest is fucking history. Whereas Chris Weidman right now, trying to, obviously too bad his fight was canceled, sorry for him, but trying to bring himself to finish with an over 500 fucking record, okay? TJ Dillashaw shocks the fucking world and beats Renan Barao, a guy that was literally came over from the WEC that was undefeated in 7 fucking years. TJ goes in there and beats fucking him, right? Where's TJ's career at? You know what I'm saying? Oh, wait, let's rewind. Dominic Cruz loses to Cody fucking Garbrandt. Where's fucking Cody's career at? When I mean by make yourself undeniable, what the fuck does Tom have to fucking gain? Everything. What does John Jones have to gain? Nothing. Nothing. You beat Tom Aspinall. When we look at this in 50 fucking years, when they're looking at this in 100 years, they're gonna look back at history, be like, what the fuck was Tom? What? Oh, that was stupid. Okay, we have this guy that's 15-3, basically never been the fucking distance, and a lot of new school fans think that's really good. That is fucking good. But what happens when you're pushed to distance, and we don't know how Tom Aspinall's stamina is. You know, you're going to go from not going out of the second round and going to 5 fucking rounds with the GOAT, bro, where John Jones could run around that fucking octagon and tire you the fuck out. A lot of people's not thinking like that. I'm looking at this as a one-side. Yeah, okay, Tom Aspinall has the speed. Yeah, okay, he has the punching power. Stipe had the speed until he didn't, until he was fucking compromised. Stipe had the power until he couldn't fucking catch John Jones' face. John Jones said in the pre-fight interview, he hit me once, and I said, I don't want to be hit by that again. Mm-hmm. And guess what, motherfuckers? He wasn't hit by that again. It wasn't a clean punch again. He rolled with everything. So, yeah, it's easy for Tom Aspinall to sit down on the sidelines, look at the fight, and be like, oh, shit, I could beat that guy. Look at him. He's fucking slow. I'm much faster. I just don't see it. I think Alex Pereira has a better shot of beating John Jones, because if I'm Alex Pereira, I'm not training anything but takedown defense. Probably that's not going to work because you're going to get taken down. But at least if I'm Alex Pereira, that's a fun matchup. Honestly, I don't know who's better on the feet. John Jones is the GOAT. John Jones has elbows. John Jones has his clinch game. John Jones has his Muay Thai. John Jones is a beast on the feet. We see it. But Stipe is a former 2-time fucking kickboxer and a 2-time champion too. So if I'm a fucking MMA fan like I am, I'm saying like, holy shit, what if they make an agreement like they won't? But what if it comes down to John Jones wanting to stand with Alex to prove a fucking point and not take Alex down? That'll be fun. It probably won't happen. But I just feel that if I'm Alex, I'm just training takedown defense. Kind of what I said earlier in the Combat Club earlier in the year, when a lot of people was just overlooking Destin, overlooking how good Destin is. And I told people, if I'm Destin, I'm just training takedown defense. And what happened in that Islam fight? What happened? Destin almost won that shit. That was the closest we've seen Islam to defeat since he got knocked out.
Yeah, okay? I mean, exactly.
Like, you go look at my history. I called Sean Strickland fucking beating Izzy. You know, I called a lot of upsets. I called Holly Holmes beating fucking Ronda Rousey. Like, I called Rose beating fucking Joanna. Like, I don't want to toot my own horn because I get a lot of shit wrong too. I'm fucking biased Hawaiian. I knew that knockout was scary. Had to take Max Holloway. Ilya fucking is him. Okay, I was wrong on some, but I will say this, man. I'm not to tote my ego because I don't need to impress you. You're a homie. You already know. I think I like Alex better, man. I like that John Jones versus Alex's fight at 205. Like, go back and reclaim your throne. And a lot of people thought Alex was gonna come up to heavyweight, but John Jones said, "No, fucking give the title to Tom. Tom can have the heavyweight championship. I'll go back to 205, and I'll go take back my title from Alex." because I think John Jones, I think the lighter he is, the better. I said everything now I have to say for this one. Shout out to Bo Nickel for going up against a tough guy like Paul Craig. That guy's career is gonna keep on rising, keep on going against tougher competition. But I'm pretty much done. I'm gonna let you say what you need to say, bro. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do the Combat Club with me again.
Yeah, yeah. And also, I just wanted to tell about him because I know that because I've been watching since like 3 or 4 that year because I was like 12 years old. And it's very surprising because I really understand why John Bone Jones is so remarkably like the undeniable, the undisputable go to MMA, including in heavyweight, because the greatest. I mean, it's very surprising to see many people criticize
Kills
John
legends,
Jones,
bro.
especially. Yeah, especially they're just giving like a remarkable career. Because if you're a true fan of the mixed martial arts, you really understand that John Jones has nothing left to prove. He's already established himself as one of the greatest motherfucking fighters in the sport's history. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, this being like a controversial society, but now he's faced consequences with jail strapping and suspensions. But even those instances have overshadowed the immense skill, discipline, and sheer dominance he's demonstrating in the octagon. His legacy might be complex, but he's undeniable. And of course, for the John Jones achievements, for this reign to the light heavyweight, to since transition to heavyweight, I mean, he demonstrated his versatility and like I say, because he's really had to commit to excellence. Because I know that Thomas Pinal is a very talented fighter with potential, but let's be realistic. His resume doesn't come close to John Jones. I mean, his biggest wins are even Curtis Blaze and Andre Arlovsky, respectable names, but not at the same level as the elite John has defeated. And he also have like a streak wins over this career. Because in comparison, because who's gonna be like the go MMA, including Damon Cormier, Alexander Gustafsson, Shogun Rua. I mean, Aspinall has a bright future, but calling him like the next big thing of this premature, especially, he hasn't faced the caliber of fighters that John has dominated. I mean, John's legacy stands
Exactly my
out
point. I love that.
and his greatness is undisputable. Whatever this critics wanted to see it or knowledge or not. Because I know that something it's gonna be like a remarkable for life. Because even though that I was growing up watching combat sports at the age of 6, thanks to my dad, and I learned about like combat sports because I was a former Credido champion. Because don't ever mess with their careers fight between for the skills, the grappling, striking, and of course between for all besides for the fighters. And I'm not trying to be the bias because between for George St. Pierre, also there's Chuck Liddell, also there's the brothers Diaz, Randy Couture that I was growing up since I was a teenager, but there's nothing undeniable. And of course, the most respectable heavyweight champions and the heavyweight athletes forever in the planet, in the world, John Jones. Because I know that Thomas Pinal is very young, but he doesn't have like the same advantage of John Jones, because I know that Tom Jones could smoke Thomas Pinal's packet right now, but it seems that John Jones is very undeniable. He can really knock you out. I mean, they're just like snap it a little bit. I mean, that guy is very huge. He's a monster beast, but of course, you can never fuck with John Jones ever. If you go into the octagon, never fuck with John Jones.
And I would add to that. I said I was done, but I'm gonna add to this. It's a business, right? It's a business, and it comes down to who will put people in seats. Yeah, everybody wants Tom Aspinall. The live crowd wants Tom Aspinall. They cheer for him, but that's the young crowd. They honestly, old heads like Tom Aspinall too. I respect Tom Aspinall, but I'm just saying, make yourself undeniable right now. If you was to say who sells more tickets, Tom Aspinall or Alex Pereira, people are gonna say Alex. Before John Jones came back, if people was to say who's the face of the UFC, it's Alex. Okay, Alex headlined 300. Alex saved a couple of cords. If they was to fight on the same night, I would say Alex would sell more tickets. Okay, now and if you was to get all the MMA fighters in history, more active fighters right now, and you just put them on a list, I don't think Tom Aspinall breaks the top 15. I think Alex is in the top 15. So you're telling me a number one guy on that list outside of Islam, because people want to fucking, I don't know why there is a debate who's number one, Islam or John. As long as John Jones is active, he's the best fighter in the fucking world. Okay, so John Jones is number one on that list, and you want John Jones to fight someone outside of the top 15 of the greatest on that list? No. If I'm John Jones, I'm looking at Alex. I'm like, bitch, I'm the face of the company. Yeah, you've been the face of the company while I've been injured, but I see John Jones' vision. I see why he wants that fight. It's like, who's been carrying the UFC for the last 3 years? It's been Alex. Who's the 2-time former kickboxer? It's Alex. Who reigned over 2 divisions? It's Alex. If Alex right now was to fight DPP, a lot of people will probably pick Alex. Obviously, that's another conversation because DPP is wrestling. But you know what I'm saying? It's like Alex is a better fighter. So if Tom Aspinall was to go on an amazing 3-fight win streak and then coming into this fight with 18 wins, then you have a different story. Then it's like, holy shit, dude, you sound like a 7-fight win streak, never fucking left. Honestly, bro, like that's what I'm saying. Make yourself undeniable. Make them can't say no. Don't say no. Right now, I have a name I can put in front of Tom Aspinall, and that name is Alex. When you make yourself undeniable, I can't think of any other name but you. I'm sorry, I can think of Alex. And you know who loses in all of this? What's his name? Eliath, the light heavyweight guy that's on a 10-fight win streak that could never get his championship. Muhammad, what's his fucking name?
Ankalev.
How can I? Yeah, there you go. He's the one that loses in all of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The guy just wants gold. The guy just wants gold. And he has the gold calling his competitor out. He's like, bitch, I wanted to fight Alex. Don't you say his name. He's the one that loses. But
yeah.
Let's wrap this up. I love it, bro. Good show.
Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna wrap this with you. So right now, it seems that we got like 38 minutes to talk about Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, and of course a little bit of UFC 309. But don't forget to subscribe to the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. Also, as us, Capitán Rafucho and Zenith, because this is the episode number 29. They're almost getting close to the end of the year because we brought like a great surprises coming out there at the beginning of the year. Because I know it's gonna be like a huge events. Not only for the wrestling, but also on the boxing, martial arts. So thank you very much. And of course, I will see you there in the next episode at the same day. And of course, salute to y'all. So don't be a ninja and subscribe to the Big Blue Crew Sports Network, Capitán Rafucho, and Zenith. So we out of here. Let's get it.